I built my antique window greenhouse a couple of years ago, and I put up all of the videos of how to do that. But there's been interest recently on seeing what the inside of it looks like and just kind of the overall once it's done. So this is my greenhouse tour. We had a couple of different goals in building this greenhouse. One of them was to reuse as many items as possible. The windows are actually the whole reason that I wanted to build the greenhouse. I love the antique windows. I had to learn how to replace the panes, cut glass, do the glazing. It was actually a really good experience for me. I was actually able to find this great antique door with this very fun doorknob that came all the way from the East Coast. One of the features of this greenhouse that I think make it stand out is just all of the small details, adding in the wood molding, adding in the ironworking and the decorative metal flowers. I also love having the porch lights on here. I use it more than you would think because it actually lights up the majority of the path from the house to the barn. So that helps during those winter months when it's so dark. When I designed this, I had to design it completely around the windows that I had. That was kind of a fun experience in and of itself, trying to find enough windows and enough matching ones to make it work well for this greenhouse build. One of the features that I really appreciate about this build is the fact that it has this shed that's in the back, which has been so great for all kinds of different storage. I'll show you the inside in a little bit. But I made this all out of reused pallet boards. The one thing that I would recommend though is to make sure that all of your pallet boards are nice and dry before you do a build like this. I did mine in the winter, and so they had some moisture in them from having been out in the snow. So I do notice a little bit of shrinkage happening, but I still really like it. With a shed like this, I feel like the windows are a must because it gives you that light that you need in the shed portion. So now on to the inside of the greenhouse. So this is the inside of my greenhouse. There's many things that I love about it. One of those things is the paver stones that I used for the floor. I also really like these pallet tables that I made. There's also a video for how to make those if you want to see that. I'm glad that I made so many of them and have filled in this area because during the springtime when I'm really going crazy with all of my plants in here, I need every surface area that I can find. One of the things I didn't expect to store in here was some of my animal feed because of the fact that it's so much more secure from rodents than our other barn. It's just become a good place to keep them. The desk has become one of my favorite things, not only because it's a great surface area to use and it's really cute. It turned out great when we did the renovation on it, but because it also has this space underneath. So that's where I put the fertilizers that I'm currently using, the bags that are already open. It keeps them a little bit separated from the ones that I have in storage. Underneath each of my tables, they have a shelf, and I love it because in this one here, I'm able to keep all of my fertilizer, which with the Mittleider system of gardening that I've been doing actually uses a lot of fertilizer. On this side, I have all of my gardening tools, whether it be my row marker or my flats that I use to plant in, or, just my stuff for watering. It's just been great because I can really organize and have that extra space that I need. And then under this one here, I have our open bags of feed. One of the things that I think actually makes this greenhouse so fun and so cute is my shelves here. I love how I was able to make this out of the really thick pallet board connector pieces that are in the middle, but then connect them with these lovely wrought iron pieces that make it look so cute in here. I don't know. I don't know why it's so important to have things cute, but for some reason it just speaks to me, and I definitely want it to be functional, but if it's the same price for me to make something that's adorable as well as functional, then I can't see why not. Now these are fun just to have some cute decorative things as well as some boxes that have storage in them. But the other thing is that when it's in the heavy planting season, I can take everything off of those shelves and it's actually another space to put my seedlings. This right here is where I put all of my little teacups. It's funny, you wouldn't think that teacups would be such a good scoop, but they really are. They're actually Most of them are 5 ounces, which is just perfect for my fertilizer. And these are the little fairy lights that me and my son made. We had so much fun. You just put them in this mason jar and you've got these cute little light up lights as well as flowers and moss, and just kind of fun. And I have a little remote that turns those on and off. And then of course there's my matching shelves on the other side. I really do like these. I think they're like almost my favorite thing in here. Well, no, I can't say that. I also created this fun little basket so that the kids could pull it up. There's a pulley up there, and then they can tie off the rope at the top and it'll hold it up there. It makes it so that when they go up to the loft, they can bring stuff up with them as well, which is really nice, especially in early spring. I found that they actually don't use it very much at all in the summer because it's so hot, and then the same issue in the wintertime. So in the fall, when I'm coming and doing more of my harvests, and in the spring, it gets more use. I'll show you some pictures of what it used to look like. By this point, my kids are getting a little bit older, and it's becoming storage for mostly alpaca fiber. I like doing the fun little open frames. This one I really liked because it's so thick, and I just have some nails in there, and that's where I'll dry out some of my herbs. I just think it's kind of cute to have them in a frame. They don't really have to be. And then, of course, my little cuckoo clock. It doesn't work, but I love the aesthetics of it. My handles ended up working out really well for being able to get up into the loft. And the handles that I put up at the top, that made a really big difference too. So it's pretty easy to get up and get into that loft, even for the little kids. Even though this loft space hasn't been used nearly as much recently, I'm still really glad that we put it in. And it also has these really fun little willow branches that we used for our railing. I mean, there's just so many neat things about it, and my kids tell me that my grandkids are gonna love it, so I look forward to that. In the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy the extra storage space. My husband and I are an interesting mix because I tend to like everything like rustic and old-fashioned, and he's into everything technological. He's all into the computers, and I'm all into like wood and dirt. But it's a good combination sometimes because he insisted that we have lighting and electricity in it, and I have really, really appreciated it. And this one was just such a fun one. I found it at a garage sale for, I think, like $10 or something insane. I mean, the things that you can find, the deals that you can find when you look secondhand, when you look at, you know, like Habitat for Humanity stores and garage sales or Craigslist, it's just amazing what you can do on a budget. And then in my shed, oh, one thing I wanted to point out is that I actually have little coat hooks everywhere because it makes it so that I can hang stuff up, whether that be, you know, herbs for drying or tools that I want to be able to grab later. It's been really a good thing. One of the things that I like about this shed is that I'm able to keep my loom and my spinning wheel in here, which is great because we have the alpacas, so that makes it so that I can actually use their fiber, which is why I need space to store some of it until I get the chance to use it, which of course I've been doing up in the loft recently. I'm really glad that we insulated in here because it doesn't get nearly as cold in the winter time or as hot in the summertime as it does in the outside portion of the greenhouse. One of the other things that I like about this shed is just the aesthetics. I really like those pallet walls, and the shelf has been so great. I keep not only alpaca fiber in here, but I also keep my little extra things for in the garden. And I have my wall of daisy hooks here, and that's where I usually put my cutting tools. So that's it. This is my greenhouse. I've absolutely loved this space, and I had a lot of fun making the videos and putting them up so that other people could learn some of the things that I learned along the way as I was making it.